Hello, my friends. I'm Rob. Got coffee, feel like chatting. In a pretty good mood today. Going forward tomorrow, beginning the shoot for the opening scene for the first adventure of ManyQuest. And I hope you're looking forward to it, because I know I am. But I hope you've had an opportunity to look at my introduction to ManyQuest. How we're going to go forward with making sure everybody has a voice in playing out this character, and how we're going to switch between giving everybody a chance, as much as statistics can give me, everybody having a chance to say something and do something for the character. I think it'll work well. And hopefully, word of mouth will pick up and we'll get more people interested in coming in and doing things. And the people who are the regulars, you, my viewers, will be able to post, frequently and make sure that you get your votes worth, your comments worth more, so that your things come up more often and we can drive the story together. It should be fun. The rules for Dice File were the most basic set of rules. Were also in the introduction, so it's as simple as it gets, really. I'm not going to claim it's the crunchiest set of rules, but it's pretty flexible and can do a lot with it. So yeah, I look forward to getting those out in a more concrete form for all of you as well. If you like the system or you have thoughts on it, I appreciate feedback, of course. But it's my baby, so I think we'll all have fun with that together. Shooting will begin tomorrow for the ManyQuest intro. I don't think I'll be able to completely edit and put it out tomorrow, however, because the other actors that I have for the opening scene, unfortunately, aren't making themselves available to me as I need. I could get around it, depending on how the shooting goes and depending on how desperate I am to get it out in a more prompt time. But I really want to get this ball rolling, so I might have... I will probably use a workaround and not use another person for the introductory, for the opening scene. It's unfortunate because I want more people. I want this to be a bigger production than just Rob doing stuff. But we'll get there. We'll grow it out organically together. So it should be fun. My podcast is going well. For those of you who did not see it, I think I linked to it. But if I didn't, I have a podcast called An Honest Wizard. I do it using Anchor, which is a podcasting app. Works really well. I've been doing podcasting, and I know I have linked to my OmnusI channel, and I have a sub-channel called Back to the Podcast on my Lair of OmnusI channel on YouTube as a sub-list. They're two different things, but I am considering going and taking An Honest Wizard and also putting that on Lair of OmnusI and just making it one big mega channel. Let me know what you think. If that's too cluttered, that's fine. I might even try to open up another channel altogether and spin that out. I'm not sure. I'll take advice, but as of right now, I'm leaning towards making a sub-channel and putting those on there. That'll be on one of those days when I have nothing better to do. I don't have those anymore, but one of these days. But yeah, An Honest Wizard. It's available on Spotify and a lot of Google Podcast, radio podcast, Anchor itself. But yeah, it's called An Honest Wizard. It's told from the perspective of Lord Cadrian de Flynn, my wizard alter ego, and I am discussing the ins and outs of. Right now, I started in with the cantrips for Wizards in 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Why did I do that? Number one, a lot of those spells are fairly iconic or similar to other things, and talking about those might help a wider variety of game systems. Certainly many of those spells had different iterations in earlier games of D&D, so if you play 1st edition, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, some of what I say may have some merit and bearing. That might help you out. Secondly, I've wanted to do it for a while. It's something that I wanted to spin off into a video series, but honestly, the podcasting works pretty well. It's not very labor intensive, and I can do it on my phone just about anywhere. So yeah, podcasting is a little easier than making videos. Certainly there are fewer steps, but I do like being in front of a camera, so I'm not going to stop doing videos just to make podcasts, but I have no problems turning my podcasts into videos. Well, the video is a static picture of probably Lord Cadrian de Flynn, and we'll work on that. But if you have any interest in that stuff, this could be fun. One of the major reasons why, though, I wanted to do one and I wanted to talk about spells and things is I've noticed a distressing trend where players, and let's face it, dungeon masters, look at assets like spells, and they read the description, and in their mind they have one definition of how that spell works, and that's it. For some spells, that's kind of a waste. If you are the kind of dungeon master who doesn't really have flexible thinking, then a spell like, say, Acid Splash, which was the first podcast that I did, is, it's only so useful. It's something that you do to do minor damage to 1 or 2 creatures. It's not going to wow anybody. It's something as a tool of last resort. If you open it up and you give the wizard credit for being able to just create a blob of acid and nail things with it, you suddenly open up a lot of other uses for it. Damaging key objects without harming the objects around them, like damaging and destroying a lock. I don't think that's pushing beyond the bounds of what a simple cantrip like that would do, although it would probably take quite a few castings of that to really cripple a lock, simply because the initial damage isn't all that great, and most things have some sort of resistance. So you would have to do 5 or 6 points of damage to do any real lasting damage to metal, I would say. And as you go up levels, it does more damage, so your acid becomes more potent, more things you can do. You could use it possibly in a creative way to etch metal for decorative purposes or other similar purposes. You can use it to, for instance, what were some of the ideas that I had? I don't remember offhand. But the podcast is there to kind of help people to open up their thinking and think of different ways of using common assets. And I'll be not only going through the various spells, and there's enough spells in D&D that it's going to take me quite a while to get through, so I'm not looking for other material outside of that, probably for a full year of podcasts. I do one a day, so I've done 7 so far. I'm just going down the list of the cantrips from the perspective of a wizard in the game, and also drawing upon my experience from playing for nearly 40 years. So that's been fun. If you haven't listened to it, if you play 5th edition D&D, I recommend it, especially if you are a dungeon master or you play a spellcaster. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Also, the occasional anecdote may get in there too about different ways that I've seen the spells used and fun things like that. But it's an intent to kind of broaden the experiences of the listeners and come up with new ideas on how you can use some of this stuff. or different things that a person could warn you about. For example, somebody who uses the spell Friends a lot. Friends lets people that you cast the spell on know that they've been enchanted, that you've tried to cast a spell affecting their mind. So that's a good way to get people upset with you. So a warning not to abuse that spell, only using it on people that you don't really care about, like monsters or somebody that you're interrogating. So that's a thing. Weather's kind of turned a little bit nicer, having the mow the lawn a lot. Fun. But stay safe for all of you out there who are in nasty weather areas. There's been some brutal weather here in the United States. Mother Nature is going mad. We really need to stop damaging this planet. If we don't get this straightened out, this is going to become an everyday experience. I am going to be in the biggest inland lake in the United States, and we'll have to move somewhere else if the water levels continue to keep rising. Quite honestly, I'm scared that this is actually going to happen. I hope wiser heads prevail and we can turn this around. On a happier note, I saw a fun video. I recommend checking it out. I'm not going to link to it, but it's easy enough to find on YouTube. I saw Matt Mercer, kind of the new hotness in celebrity dungeon mastering, the DM for Critical Role, done a lot of other things too. He ran an adventure for Stephen Colbert, who, as far as being, an intellectual talk show host and comedian, he used to play D&D. He dropped out of it, pursuing a career and all the other things. Hadn't played since college. And watching him play was a real joy for me, because I love introducing new players, and bringing lapsed players back is really cool. And watching that was excellent. It is just this smile of pure joy as he was getting to play his character and seeing the game unfold. And some people don't like Matt Mercer very much, but he is an excellent dungeon master, and he told a very interesting adventure. I could definitely see some of the areas in which he was sculpting it to increase drama and setting up the story so that it would come to a good conclusion. A little bittersweet. I recommend watching it. If you care at all about role-playing and enjoy that kind of thing, no matter what you may feel, what side of the political fence you're on, because all these late-night talk shows have all become heavily politicized. It's the world we live in. But it's a really good thing from a gamer's perspective, watching something like that. It was really done well. So I highly recommend watching that video. Other than that, really busy schedule. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be doing the intro. I think I'm also going to do, depending on how well I budget my time, I'm going to try to get in a proper layer of OmnusI. I haven't done one of those in a while, so I've got a topic, something I want to get out, and I can do that with a minimum of editing, so that I think I can put one out on top of the introduction. The introduction will probably come out on Friday. I'm hoping to put my layer of OmnusI out tomorrow. That would be Thursday. We'll see how that goes. Something might get pushed. I could see it happening very easily. One way or the other, I'm going to get a new video out for this weekend. But which one? We'll see. I'll try hard to make that happen. If I don't, I hope you'll forgive me on that. Also, I have my latest State of the Dungeon address, where I have the events that took place for my character in the first playing session. So that's got to get out. And did it in character again, just like I did for my introductory. So a little bit more editing was required for that. I play around with the color scaling and that, so it looks more like I'm, gray-skinned and stone. But it's just editing. Nothing too serious there. I have a rather clever anecdote in there because I'm marauded by my cat whenever I'm in front of a camera, and she was nosing up to me before, but she seems to be gone now. So, playing in the Forgotten Realms and the Sword Coast, I've decided that if she's going to interrupt those videos from now on, I am going to incorporate her into those videos, and my character is going to insist that she's a panther who responds to the name of Guinevere, who seems to be very attracted to him. Guinevere, for those of you who haven't read Salvatore's books, is the companion of Drizzt Do'Urden, the most famous drow, who adventures around those parts. So if she's going to maul me and bug for attention, then she's going to act as a character. She's going to be Driss Panther, who keeps following my character around for some strange reason. Just seemed like something clever to do with the situation. Next week, my intention is to do a new... I'm actually kind of on the fence. I want to do a Dungeons and Darkness video. But, there's a bunch of series that are calling out for me to do. I'd like to do an Omnus Critic video, too. That's going to depend a lot on, well, you. Depending on how fast I get responses for my mini quest, if I hit the required 10 before I have to get ready to do, before I choose to get ready to do another, the next episode of it, the reaction to whatever prompts you give for Dirk in his quest to survive his predicament, that may preempt something, because those are going to take more work than any of the other videos that I do. It's going to require a certain amount of staging and things like that. So some of my timetable will change, but I'm going to try to go through a rotation of the different series that I do throughout the month. And next month I'm aiming for either Character Witness or Dungeons and Darkness. Quick thought occurs to me, I could do a Character Witness for ManyQuest using my dice file system. I could outline making up Dirk's character sheet. It was a quick thought, just occurred to me. It's kind of a little egotistical, in my opinion, though, to do one just for my own role-playing system, so maybe we'll wait on that. The next character I might do a Character Witness for. But, as always, let me know in the comments. If you like the idea, then, yeah, I'll do it. Sure. Yeah. Whatever you want. So, that's about it from the Dungeon of Love. Busy as always, but hopefully you guys are enjoying what I'm putting out. And tomorrow will be very busy, but I hope to have some very entertaining content for you. And stay tuned. It's just going to get to be more and more of a wild and fun ride. Thanks for stopping in. And once again, it's been a pleasure. I am Rob, your friend and Dungeon Master on the internet. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Farewell.